The Chiefs have a new plan heading into Buffalo. We got a live Q&A for you. Let's talk about that. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Put a
Happy
candy
Halloween.
holder on.
Happy Halloween. Let's go, baby. It's Halloween time.
Hey, tomorrow's Halloween, Steven.
It is. I'm horned
Actually, here on the East Coast, we're 2 hours away.
up. Ooh.
2 hours
scary.
away.
Spooky, Mike. Spooky.
They should
I got a
redo
Tim Burton
Halloween.
shirt on because I'm spooky.
I got a
Let's
spooky
go.
one. Look at this. Ooh. Hey, I think Halloween should go the night before and we should trick or treat at midnight. That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe
I
we
like
should
that
start
idea.
our own.
We'll have to put that idea into the higher ups and see if they'll let us do that.
Exactly. How's everybody doing tonight? Appreciate you guys coming in. Whether you're on Facebook, we got a Facebook crowd, we got the YouTube crowd, we got the X crowd. See who gets loud and wild tonight.
Who's the most horned up tonight? Let's find
Who's
out.
the most horned? Everybody apparently watching Thursday Night Football like it's some great, amazing
Dude,
game.
who
we got
watches
going
football?
on.
It's not the Chiefs. I can't figure that out.
Between who? The Dolphins and another slapnut team that ain't won a game.
Between Slapnut and Slapnut.
Maybe you're watching Jalen Phillips because you think he might be a Chief next week. I don't know.
Yeah, but like Mike said, appreciate you guys being here. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button real quick. It helps get it out to more people. We'll get more Slapnuts in here and have some fun. Also, if you're watching on Facebook or X, share that out with your friends, followers, and family. And let's get this party started. Mike, the Chiefs are going to have a new plan going into Buffalo because Isaiah Pacheco is fully expected to miss this one with that sprained MCL.
Yep.
So that turns all the attention to Kareem Hunt, baby.
One, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's the man, by the way.
He's
I
a
like
dog.
him. We wanted him back. He's a dog. We wanted him back last year, and then a lot of people in the offseason didn't want him back. And I think we're seeing right now the reason why you had to sign him back in the offseason. I think that made the most sense.
Oh, yeah.
Pacheco's not the healthiest cat in the I don't know, what's it called? The pound? The cats go to the pound?
No, we got to go dogs.
Okay, he's not the healthiest dog in the pound, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing, man. Kareem Hunt, he's going to be the new plan this week. And I mean, everybody knows that. It's not a secret. Kareem Hunt
Right.
is the guy you're riding this week. But I would love to see him maybe call up. I kind of want to see Elijah Mitchell.
I'm not
Can we
even
call
worried
him up
about that.
and let
I'm
him-
not
and
worried
let him
about
play?
Elijah Mitchell. I'm not worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not worried about whoever else. Carson Steele. Doesn't matter, baby, because we're going to have Kareem Hunt, and I want to see more Brashard Smith.
Oh, yeah,
on
we
the
got to have more
football field.
Brashard Smith for sure.
And that's what I'm hoping to see. Obviously, I think they're going to try to establish a run game. Of course, Andy always says that. That doesn't mean that he'll do it. We know that. But either way, I think it's going to be that offense is going to run through Kareem Hunt against Buffalo. I think it's just the obvious thing to do. And like I said, hopefully we get some more Brashard Smith out there, whether he's, lining up out wide or whatever he might be doing. But let's get more of him.
Right. We seen Pacheco last week versus the Commanders take 40 snaps. He took about 58%. So just, out of fun numbers, we'll say an even 6 out of 10 plays featured Pacheco in the offense. Kareem Hunt was only out there for about 30% of the plays. He's out there for 22. So about 3 out of every 10. And then, of course, we know that Brashard Smith literally only got 13% of the plays. So about 1 out of every 10. So it was about 6-3-1. That was your split. Now, I looked to see Kareem Hunt now is probably going to get the 6. Brashard Smith's going to get the 3 to 4. And depending if they want that extra back that comes up this week, be it Clyde, be it Elijah Mitchell, Carson Steele, whoever they decide to bring up as the third running back, they're probably going to get the one carry per 10 plays, which would be Brashard Smith 9. But honestly, I don't see anybody coming up with the practice squad and getting 9 touches. So they're probably going to get closer to maybe like 4 or 5 if they're lucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, man.
Who would you look if you had to pull one of those guys up? Be it Clyde, be it Elijah Mitchell, be it Carson Steele. Which one would you take? Which one would you pull the trigger on and be like, "Come on up here and let's play football"?
I mean, I think the one that makes the most sense is Carson Steele because last year he was playing quite a bit.
Oh, he horns you up on that goal line stuff too. And I mean, Kareem, if he's your feature back, maybe you don't want him to hit that 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah, so I mean that one makes the most sense to me. Now I would like to see Elijah Mitchell. We haven't got to see him in this offense hardly at all. A little bit in the preseason. Clyde, I think Clyde's just fine. A lot of people give Clyde a lot of crap, because he wasn't always the greatest, and he really shouldn't have been a first-round pick. But Clyde did have a couple good years with KC. He can produce. He can receive out of the backfield. He can do a lot of things.
Who
He
do you
knows
trust the
the
most
offense,
out of those
so.
guys to come up and execute? Clyde?
I'd say him or Carson, either one. I think Carson Still's just fine too.
But no part of you wants to see Elijah Mitchell a little bit to see if why he's still on
I
the
didn't
team.
say I
Why
didn't
did
want
we
to see
sign
him, but
in
I
the
was saying, like,
offseason?
if you want to go with comfortable, you're going to go with one of the other two guys. Now,
Do you want to see Elijah Mitchell though a little bit or no?
yeah,
Do you
sure.
not care?
I'd like to see him. I mean, I don't think he's
Okay.
going to do anything groundbreaking, but I'd like to see it.
What
I
if
think he
came
could
up
be
and
something.
He was the man.
I think he could be something kind of like Damian Williams was for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He could definitely play a role like that, I think. But, Mike, let's get to the chat real quick. Don Herman, been a member for 6 months now. Let's freaking go.
Congrats, Don. That's
And then we
6.
got Pop in the house. Got that train rolling in, baby.
Let's
With the 5 gifted memberships. Pops is a
Like
legend.
the train rolling.
Pops, you could have won a signed Tom Bahali picture last night if you would have been here
Right.
on the members only live stream.
Hey,
but
Pops. Round of applause.
you didn't show up.
Round of applause for Pops for the 5 gifted. Pops, have you been to Nashville this week yet? Let us know.
Let us know.
Steve, I tried to get Pops to go eat hot chicken in Nashville, and Pops said he don't like hot chicken.
Well, Pops, you're going to have to learn to love it.
Learn to love it.
It's so good. Just don't get the extra hot. Don't do that. You're going to fill up the
you can get
butthole
the
the next
mild,
day.
and it's going to get you. So get the no seasoning if you don't like that spice.
Yeah, for sure, though. Let's get back to Buffalo. Let's talk about that game, baby, because it's coming up. Once again, Kareem Hunt. Going to have a healthy dose of Kareem Hunt. I think it does all kind of run through him this week. I'd like to see him get established. Give him a lot of carries, Andy. He can do it. He's not that old yet. He can do it. He's playing well. And then, of course, that'll open up things for the rest of the offense. Defensively, Mike, we got to come out here and spy Josh Allen right off the rip. I don't think we allow him to run all over us for 2-3 quarters before we decide to put a spy there.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, is it going to be one of those things, though, where they think Buffalo is going to assume we're going to spy and they're going to prepare for it, so we're going to come out and try to trick them and not do a spy?
No.
Like, are we going to get – because Andy will do that sometimes. And Spags don't really ever tend to outthink himself. But, they didn't come out running a spy early on Mariota, and we all thought Mariota was going to come out and do what he did, and sure enough, he did. So,
yeah,
I don't know. It depends. But I think either way, you got to slow down Josh Allen. Look, he don't have nowhere near as many weapons in his offense this year as he usually has, right? Like Khalil Shakur is a good wide receiver. We loved him coming out of Boise. That kid could flat out play. I thought he was a good fit for our offense, to be honest. And we just kind of overlooked him. The whole league overlooked him. I think he's like, what, a 4th-round pick, 5th-round pick? So,
yeah.
He's a nice weapon. Keon Coleman's not developed into what they think. They've re-signed Gabe Davis. I don't know if he'll be back. We also got the injury report come out today. Let's go over that for just a second. Let's start with Buffalo since we're talking about them. No playmakers on the list here. I mean, Ray Davis, running back out of UK, baby. He's sick, but he got a full practice in today. He's going to be there, they're going to let James Cook run the ball, so that's not a big deal. The person really that only popped up was the hammy for Shaq Thompson on Wednesday. He was limited. Today he did not practice, so he actually went down. So Shaq Thompson, depending on what he does tomorrow, could be a game-time decision and be ruled out, but it looks like everybody else is going to practice here and play.
Right. Now, like, I think Josh Palmer's got a lingering ankle thing or it says ankle and knee, doesn't it? Yeah,
Right.
But he didn't participate the other day. He was just limited today, so he might be.
Well, he's trending the right way.
He is, but that doesn't mean he's going to be fully healthy
True.
for the game. So maybe that could have some sort of an effect on him. Of course, Matt Milano is always like a playmaker for them on defense. So
I don't think I've ever seen Matt Milano. Yeah, I've never seen Matt Milano not on an injury report. Like, he's just there every week.
He
but
lives
he
there.
plays.
And then Prater's on there, dude. Their kicker's got a
Exactly.
bad calf.
So this would be 2 weeks in a row that a kicker couldn't go. I don't think they're going to use them much anyway. I think they're going to do a lot of what the Commanders did and just kind of go for it every time. I think they have to keep up with the Chiefs' offense, man. I think our offense is too good. I think if we rely on Kareem Hunt and let him eat a little bit, I think in the second half you'll see Kareem Hunt have multiple 10-plus yard carries.
Right.
If they would literally let him rely on that run game and give him 15, 20 carries by himself, maybe give Rashard Smith 5, 6, 7 carries, but let Kareem Hunt tote the rock 20 times. Let's have 25, 27 carries by the end of the day. I'm telling you, you're going to blow Buffalo off the field.
Absolutely. You get that passing game opened up, and it's a wrap. Son.
Exactly. And they're not good anyways at defending the pass. So Mahomes is going to eat them alive.
Yeah, I think it could be a really good game for the Chiefs. It really does depend on the game plans, man. That's really all it's going to boil down to. what coach comes out with the best game plan and which one can adjust the best at halftime. I'm sure it's usually the name of the game. Mike Pennel was signed back to the team. Do you think he's going to see the football field this weekend to help with that run game?
I do. I think Pennel, I mean, he'll just seamlessly come back in. I don't think Spags has changed that much. He's not done nothing that crazy. He was just here 3 months ago.
Yeah,
he played the entire preseason. Should have actually made the team. That was the biggest.
Absolutely.
I think coming back and signing though, I'm going to give Veach credit. He made a He made a
boner.
Yeah, he made a boner.
Have you seen a Hubie Halloween?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, Hubie's grandma. He made a boner and he got rid of him,
which is a mistake.
And you know what?
Right? Yeah.
He admitted it, and he got him back, and Chris Jones is pumped, and I think everybody's glad to have Mikey P back. That dude is
Absolutely.
a good locker room presence.
Yeah, and that was a big boner that he made, too.
He's only got
a silly mistake.
If Pennel gives us 10 good snaps versus the run and James Cook, hell of a signing. If he does that each week, just 10 good snaps versus a running play, that's all we need. And by good snaps, he don't got to make the play.
Plus,
just
we're 100% Super Bowl champions when we sign him back mid-season.
Right. Just got to eat up all those blocks in there and let Nick Bolton and them get to work.
Mike, we got Daniel Longstaff as opposed to Daniel has that needle on him. He says, hey, guys, just wanted to say I didn't want Pennel. The whole point of letting him go was to get younger at the position. So why not activate one of the guys on the practice squad or trade for one? Well, I think if that was the point of letting Pennel walk, we wouldn't have used draft capital to go get Derek Nottie back. I don't think Derek Nottie's a spring chicken or anything, and Derek Nottie's not good.
How old is Derek Nottie? Is he 30?
He's got to be pushing it, right? He's been playing for 25 years.
He's 29, so he'll be 30 at the end of the season. So he's 29. That's not necessarily super young. Derek Nottie's just never produced. His entire time in KC, he's been a bust. I like the guy. He's a good locker room guy. Remember Haley? She come on and said he was one of the funniest guys in the locker room.
Yeah.
I
think the guys like him. I think he's a cool guy, but he just doesn't produce. He never has, like you said. And I don't know why they expected him to when they got him back. It doesn't make much sense.
If you want to go out and trade for some, again, a lot of people saying Quinnen Williams, he's going to cost so much. And the amount of money you just paid George Karlaftis, the amount of money you paid Chris Jones, it's tough. They even paid Mike Dana a pretty good chunk to come back for 3 years. So they've been paying out the defense a lot. And then look, I'll bring this up right now. Like, what are you really going to do? Albert Breer reported this today. 10 teams with the least space. We're sitting at number 2. The Bills are at number 1. $1.85 million. How are we going to make Quinnen Williams work at $1.85 million? How are we going to make anybody work at $1.85 million?
How are you going to go get Breece Hall like everybody thinks that the Chiefs should do, you know?
Yeah, it might be tough. Like, we may be a little handcuffed here. Now, I know Brett Veach can pull some wizardry out of his hat. I mean,
he's going to have to pull some
manipulate
wizardry. I mean, it's Halloween time. He's going to have to pull some magic out, and he's going to have to make it happen. But I think that's got to be with defensive line. I think you go find somebody to help the pass rush, and that's pretty much like the only priority to me. I think the running backs will be just fine. I feel safe with everything in the hands of Kareem Hunt, as long as he can stay healthy, right? And then Brashard Smith, and like we just talked about, 3 guys they could bring in to help out with Elijah Mitchell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Carson Steele. So I think we're okay there.
There was a guy that I actually brought up yesterday on X, and a lot of people kind of were on board with it. Keanu Benton. The Chiefs had brought him in during the draft process out of Wisconsin. The kid was good. He plays the A-B gap, so he kind of does what they wanted our boy Omar Norman-Lott to do.
Yep.
He kind of does that. Now, look, he's got a really bad PFF run grade. Like, he's not necessarily great versus the run, but again, you need a little bit of pop to get to the passer, in my opinion, because you got Pennel now that can help with the run. Now I think it's about going and adding more pass rush, and Benton could do that. That's a good one. Now look, he's been in Pittsburgh for a few years now. He's kind of not lived up to expectations. He flashed in year 1, and then year 2 and year 3 been a little shaky. I mean, a lot of people say, well, why would Pittsburgh trade with us? They're fighting for the AFC Championship. We are too. Pittsburgh, look, they're never going nowhere. And number 2, it doesn't matter. You just seen the Bengals and the Browns pull off a trade for a quarterback. Like, the Browns and the Bengals hate each other, and they sent Joe Flacco over there to try to salvage the Bengals season for him. And then, not to mention, you just seen the Patriots and the Steelers pull off a trade yesterday for Kyle Duggar. And they're both leading their divisions right now. So
Right.
that's BS
Well,
when
that's
people
the
say
thing.
they won't trade with the Chiefs and this and that. That's just a little crazy.
I just think in general, some people are just like, well, they're competitive, so they're not going to trade away at peace, right? That's the same thing that was said. I saw where people in Seattle were talking about maybe trading off Boye Mafe because he was a really good trade target to try to improve their team. They're 5-2 right now. So you're like, why would they give away a young pass rusher? Well, if they need something somewhere else, that's their ticket, right? The same way with the Steelers. So, I mean, there are players out there that can be obtained. I'm not saying that those guys are available. It's just rumors, right? Just been reading about it. But
well, look, ESPN actually come out today and had a big article, and guess who they put that the Chiefs should go take a look at? None other than Keanu Benton. Wonder who said that yesterday. And
Mike.
then ESPN writes an article today.
Mike, baby, you told ESPN what to do.
Hey, that happens a lot. I'm going to tell you something. But let me say this: Keanu Benton is a weapon, but he's not like a Chris Jones type of weapon. And then let's also say this: the Steelers didn't believe in him so much at the beginning of this year. They drafted Derek Harmon, the big kid out of Oregon.
Right. Yes.
So they've already got his replacement in place. He's a depth piece for them. He's not like this big time home wrecker. Not a home wrecker. I mean, he might be, but he's not a big time game wrecker. But like, this is a prototypical Veach kind of play, though, right? You go get a guy that's underperformed during his contract. You get him for cheap and see if you can make him better.
Yeah, and like you said, he's not exactly Chris Jones, but he'd be a great compliment to Chris Jones.
Oh, he'd be nice with Chris Jones and Karlaftis and putting Keanu Benton in the middle. That could get, because that's what we see with Omar Norman Lott.
Yeah,
and I believe Keanu Benton's got some of that. Now he's not as fast. He don't win as much as Omar Norman Lott did in college, but Keanu Benton's got a little pop to his step. He really does.
Yeah, well, they have to add something there. I think it's obvious he does need to figure something out with the defensive line. Other than that, Mike, I'm pretty happy with how this roster has shaped up. I like the health of it so far. It sucks to lose Pacheco for a little bit of time, but it's just a sprained MCL. It could have been much, much worse. So we'll take that. But getting all the receivers back, there's just so much firepower on this offense right now. I think it would be a disservice to not shore up the defense.
Yes.
Right? You have to get that defensive line in order, because right now that is the most glaring problem, is that we do not get enough pass rush with our front four. We just don't do it. The only one that you will see consistently get pressure is Karlaftis and Chris Jones. Chris Jones is getting double teamed, 50% of the plays, and Karlaftis is always making a mess back there, but there's no one there to clean it up. So we've got to get somebody on the opposite side there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Nobody's really cleaning it up. Omenihu's not done a great job at doing it this year, but maybe he's going to come on a little bit. We did give away the signed jersey. That went out today, by the way. Congratulations.
Let's go.
To everybody that won stuff yesterday, our members. We had Sam Lofton win a nice Tom Bahali signed picture. And then I think Melissa Renner, I think's her name. If I'm thinking off the top of my head, she won the signed Omenihu jersey. Melinda. Okay, Melinda. Yes, my bad. But yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that people come in yesterday. They were members. They got rewarded for that. That's awesome. But yeah, I think this is a team, Steve, that's really good. This offense is doing things that the Chiefs offense has not done since the Tyreek Hill days. And the defense looks really good right now, but there are some glaring weaknesses, and one of those are pass rush for sure. And so this isn't the time for Brett Veach at this point in history of the Chiefs dynasty. This is when the Patriots kind of done Tom Brady wrong. And they kind of went, 10 years without anything, and kind of was like, well, Brady can win on his own.
Right.
And guess what? Brady could not do it on his own. Like, you just couldn't do it. And we've seen Mahomes try to do it on his own, and he's absolutely been able to do that. But it took a lot of luck, and it takes a lot of big performances and times where, like, maybe like an MVS catching a couple passes in a big game, and it's like, you can't really rely on that, right? Like, we got lucky with MVS catching some of those. So I think that Brett Veach cannot look at this season as this team's good enough. Like, I think you see this team could be special, and you could continue the Super Bowl run right here. I think you make a move or two, and I don't know how you got to be able to get it with the cap space, but I think this is the time Brett Veach needs to be aggressive, not sit back and wait.
100%, dude. This is the best roster that Mahomes has had from top to bottom.
We cannot take it. Like, I cannot stress this enough. We cannot take these Patrick Mahomes years for granted, because I'm telling you, we've blinked, ladies and gentlemen. We have literally blinked our eyes in Patrick Mahomes in his 9th year.
He's 30.
Think about that. He's played almost a decade. If we're super lucky and he decides he wants to play forever, and he's been relatively healthy this entire time, we may get 10 more years of this. So let's not waste 2, 3, 4 years. Like any opportunity we get to take advantage of Patrick Mahomes, take advantage of him, because guess what? I'm not worried about what we're going to do 6 years down the road. I'm not worried about what we're going to do when Patrick Mahomes retires. We're going to suck like we always did, unless you get lucky enough to get another Patrick Mahomes. So let's win now and let's keep building this dynasty so we can all at least have another decade of happiness.
Right.
And not look back when Mahomes retires and been like,
We need
boy, Brett V, he wasted a year there in the middle of Mahomes.
You don't want that. We want the biggest dynasty that's ever been, that's ever existed.
Yes, exactly.
That way you can just wave it in everybody's face.
People's going to say we're too, like what? You can't
I don't care what they think,
can't
Mike.
do it.
We got Revenant
I'm aggressive.
Zero
Let's
in
go be
here with the
aggressive.
2-bomb. So it's kind of sad Thornton not getting much snaps. So I think that Thornton might see an uptick more than 5 snaps. Is crazy, right? I think you'll see that come back because we talked about this the other day. I think it makes sense for them to use him in an MVS type role. If you can get him back out there and stretch that field out with him and Xavier Worthy, look at the guys you have underneath there to do work. You know, Juju is not bad for Juju's old man age, even though he's not 30 yet. But Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, so many guys that can work underneath there if we can just stretch that field out. So, I mean, I think we'll start seeing more of him, surely. I think we didn't see much of him last week because of the game plan. It could be totally different this week. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. The Commanders literally sat back and played a zone on Mahomes all night.
Which was
They
wild.
just zone. It was ridiculous. Mahomes ate it alive. And in the second half, they literally – Mahomes was sitting back there for 5, 6, 7 seconds. It actually turned out to be like our offensive line wasn't even blocking all that well the other day. I think Caliendo actually had his worst blocking he's had all season. Obviously, he's only played 2 games, but if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Moore had his worst blocking he's had, and this goes all the way back to the 49ers when he was starting some last year. He had one of his lowest grades. So we were actually struggling a little bit. Mahomes actually held the ball for 2.95 seconds. They still wasn't being able to get there because they were playing a zone. Mahomes was eating that zone alive. Now, I don't think Buffalo is going to do that. I think Buffalo is going to say, look, our corners may be dog crap, but I think they're going to live and die by maybe some man-to-man and try to be physical. Because I believe if you sign up to play zone versus Mahomes, you're signing up to lose, in my opinion. And I just feel like you'd be better off if you were Buffalo. Like, to me, you get a higher game plan. Like, even if the Chiefs, let's say Spags was going against this, would you rather just play man-to-man and take a shot on maybe, just say you had to play Josh Williams. Do you take a shot on Josh Williams getting burned 1 or 2 times? Or do you want to sit back in the zone and let, Jared Allen pick you apart? You don't do it. Take your chances. Yeah, so it's what I say.
You love Jared Allen, brother.
To Jared.
You love him.
I'm a UK guy, and Jared Allen is the only Allen that I know and love.
You mean Josh Allen? You have so much trouble with these names.
In this freaking country?
Dude, Josh Allen was the edge rusher from UK.
I don't care. Josh Allen, Jared Allen, John
Jared
Denver
Allen is Jared Allen.
I don't give
Jared
a
Allen
rat's
is.
ass about
Everybody
Josh
knows who
Allen
Jared
and Jared
Allen
Allen.
is.
I love Jared Allen. He's my favorite Chief. But I don't care about Josh
Every time we
Allen.
talk about them, you get them names so mixed up. It's great.
Well, everybody's Jay Allen these days. Get over it. Go change your
Jay
name.
Allen.
Actually, Josh Allen did change his name, didn't he?
He changed his to Joshua Hines Allen because he didn't want to be associated
Yeah,
with that
he didn't
slap
wanna be-
nut in Buffalo.
You want to be associated with that crybaby loser?
It's that old man brain getting to you, brother.
I'm old. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it'll be all right, though. Guys, appreciate you being here. Do us a favor. Hit the like button if you haven't. We only got 64. We need over 100, baby. Go hit that like button real quick. Help get this out to more people. Y'all get some questions in the chat. If you have any questions about the game coming up or absolutely anything, go ahead and throw it out there. You guys that are not subscribed to the channel, I think you should be. Go hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, you can become a member. We just had our members only live stream last night. Mike was just talking about that. Melinda won a signed Charles Omenihu jersey, and Sam Lofton won a signed Tom Bahali picture. If you want a chance to get in on that next month, go join at join.allchiefedup.com and be a part of the ACU crew because it's fun. Anyway, man, Halloween's tomorrow. What are you dressing up as? I'm going to be Happy Gilmore.
You're going to be Happy Gilmore. Happy.
I'm Happy Gilmore tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to be the killer from what's that series?
From Strangers.
The Strangers.
You showed me last night. I forgot.
Yeah, The Strangers. which is it was a pretty good series actually. Like Strangers 2,
I haven't
where they
seen
have
the
the
third
pool
one.
scene.
That's one of the best horror movie scenes ever. And they just play
Dude,
what's
it
her
gives
name?
you
Bonnie
that-
Taylor or Bonnie Tyler in the background the whole
It
time.
just gives you that 80s feel. Like they did a good job with those movies. So yeah, I'm gonna be like the main guy with the bag on his head. Kind of looks like Jason 2. You know, before he found the mask, he wore the bag.
Yeah,
The little
it's pretty
the
cool.
sack.
The little sack.
Oh, sack head Jason.
Revenant with a 2 bomb says score predictions and who scores touchdowns. So we'll have predictions on Saturday's video. But I don't know exact score right now. I haven't thought about it too much, but I do think the Chiefs handle business in Orchard Park. I do.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they're going to get the dub, man. I'll think more about the score. Just check out the video on Saturday and see that. Who scores touchdowns? I think that Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. They're probably all they're all going to get one.
You're just gonna have a Commanders part 2, huh?
Yeah,
Just straight up.
why not? It makes sense, doesn't it? Maybe you'll see.
Pat's on a row right now, throwing 3 touchdowns. Like, doesn't he have like 4 straight games of 3 touchdowns or something like that?
Right. So let's just say that Kareem Hunt gets his rushing touchdown. The other 2 get a receiving touchdown. Who's the left? Who's the other one? Is it Xavier Worthy? Is it Juju?
Steve, if you remember last time, we made Xavier Worthy like a focal point.
Against Buffalo, yes.
Yes, exactly.
I think they have
and then we
trouble
kind of
with
went
the
away
speed.
from it in the second half. But maybe they do it again.
Yeah.
Because Andy likes to do that. Like a team that like lets you move up and get, they let us move up and get Xavier Worthy, so he's rubbing it in on him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you guys going to be for Halloween? I want to see it. Don Herman says Cousin It from the Addams Family. That's freaking awesome. Let's see.
Is Cousin
else
It
we
the
got?
hairy one?
Witchy's going to be a swamp witch. Richie says
Okay.
he's going to be a fat Indian. Let's see. Nikki says I'm dressing up in my pajamas and working all day. That works. Why
I
not?
like that. Why not?
I like it too. Mike, you think the Scream Chiefs come out this weekend against Buffalo?
They should. They should take that and they should do it this weekend. Every
so.
time I think it's a scare tactic in my opinion. I think they could get in Josh Allen's head a little bit.
Yeah. Randy says he's going to be me, a 67-year-old horned up guy, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, if you're still getting horned up at 67, Randy, that's all good, baby.
Hey,
Do it
I've
to it.
never met a Randy that wasn't Randy. That includes Mahomes' mom too.
Lego says he's going to be SpongeBob. That's freaking awesome. Let's go. And he says he's going to be B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted. That's great.
Let's go.
That's really cool. I like that. Love it. Love it.
Be
Man.
rad. Chapstick.
So you think they go a heavy dose of Xavier Worthy then? You think they try to just disrupt him with the speed?
Could be. Yeah, I think, look, Buffalo, the strength of Buffalo, in my opinion, you would think it could be the defensive end, but Joey Bosa's not really been as effective this year. Greg Rousseau's only got 2.5, 3 sacks. He's not been all that effective. Epinesa, they paid him. He got a little bit of money in the offseason, I think. He's not actually showed out. Now, look, every one of these guys will have the game of their life versus us, no doubt. They had old-ass Von Miller out there making plays on us last time. That dude's pushing 79, 80 years old.
Right.
And so anyways, those guys will come to play. They always will. But the strength of Buffalo, in my opinion, is their linebackers. And the strength of us and Andy Reid's offense and the way our offense has been going, especially with Rashee Rice back, is to keep them on the field and in a base 4-3 and to take advantage of linebackers with Rashee Rice. Now, can Rashee Rice do that versus Terrell Bernard? Absolutely. In my opinion, I think he does. And if you can beat up on their linebackers, Mahomes should have a field day throwing. They're not going to be able to sit in that cover 2 shell. They're just not going to be able to play no cover 2 shell versus Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's figured it out. And then with Kareem
Just got to
Hunt,
be patient. That's all.
right, and with Kareem Hunt, if you sit back in a cover 2 shell, you don't have 8 guys in the box. I'm running Kareem Hunt at you all day long, and I'm going to wear your pass rushers out for the fourth quarter because they're going to play defense all day playing the run.
100%, dude. 100%.
It's so easy. Like, football is such a caveman game. But
so easy a
sometimes-
caveman could do it.
Right, and sometimes
That's how Dallas
Andy
Goedert's a
makes
good
it
tight end,
little,
you think?
Andy makes it a little tough on himself sometimes by overthinking it, right?
Yeah, and like Ray said, there's no Ed Oliver, so I mean, defensive line's down a guy. I think
Exactly.
it's just exactly what you need to do.
They did draft that big Deion Walker out of UK, baby.
Yeah,
That 6'6" behemoth, like 7,000
I like
pounds
Deion
in
Walker.
the middle.
I like Deion Walker.
He's slow as hell. So get your guys to the edge. If he's in
Yeah.
the middle on run plays, Let's run off the C gap. Let's run outside a little bit and make him. Let's tire him out some.
For sure. Mary says that the NFL's been ass except for the Chiefs. It always is, Mary.
Yes.
I don't know how people watch other games. Like we'll be doing live streams when another game's on, and it's like there's not as many people on the live stream, and it's like I forget people actually watch other games.
It's weird.
Like, I don't do that.
The joke has been ever since Amazon started doing Thursday night games, there's never been a good Thursday night game.
And
the first season they ever tried it, it was the most terrible shit you've ever watched. I think one game went to triple overtime and it was 9-6. It had Denver in it or something. You remember that? Yeah. Horrible games. But that just shows you there's a lot of parity in the NFL. Everybody sucks ass except for the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the way it is.
It's true.
And you do have Buffalo, and I'll give Philly. They're sitting at the top, and they're on. I'll give Detroit too. Those three are sitting at the barely above sucking ass, but they're not badass.
Yeah,
like the Chiefs.
Well,
okay?
I'm like Jeff. I just like football too. And then I saw where Chiefer said he's got the game on, but it's hard to watch. So here, let me tell you how it goes for me. Usually, if there's a football game on and I want some background noise, something to look up from my phone at for a second, or like just whatever, then I'll have a game on that's not the Chiefs. But the only game that I actively watch is a Chiefs game. I could care less about anybody.
I really could too. I just don't care. I don't get paid enough. So like if I was Spags and I had to watch every person's game to come up with a game plan, I guess I'd have to torture myself and do it.
So who'd you say was playing tonight? It's the Ravens and the Dolphins? Is that right?
Yeah. Worse and worse.
Is that really the game?
Is that even a word? Yeah, it's the Dolphins Ravens.
That's wild, dude.
They've got a total of what? 3 wins between them?
Mike, if I'm forced to sit and watch a Ravens and a Dolphins game, I might as well start a YouTube channel for the Ravens and the Dolphins and talk about it.
Yeah, why not? Should we start a channel for every single NFL team?
If you're going to have to torture me through that game, I'm at least going to get on here and talk about it.
Let's start a channel for every single team and just do live games.
Our boy Shane in the house with the 5 bombs says, I think this year we take the Bills in regular season and postseason. Agreed. Also, I think both Rice and Juju eat, with Noah Gray getting one spectacular catch. Noah Gray's usually good for at least one really nice reception. That's what I like about Noah. But I think you're right, Shay. Well, this goes along with what you were saying, Mike. If Buffalo decides they're going to sit back in a cover 2 shell, which a lot of teams try to do that against Mahomes because it's notorious.
Still try it.
Yeah, that's what you just do against Mahomes. If they try to go that route and we run the ball effectively with Kareem Hunt, Juju and Rice are going to tear them apart.
Yes.
Guarantee it. They're going to have to bring those guys up. They're going to have to. All day. And go ahead and throw Kelsey in there.
Xavier Worthy. He kills them every time they play. And they did it last year when we didn't have any.
Bro, I would run a drag route with Xavier Worthy every play. And just let him beat the crap out of somebody across the field.
Lots of meshes, lots of pick plays on the edge. And then let Tyquan Thornton run goalpost to goalpost every third play, every second play, and just boom. Just go at them. Just do whatever. But yeah, shout out Noah Gray, by the way. Noah Gray, the Chiefs named him this year's nominee for their Salute to Service Award presented by USAA. Nice. So shout out Noah Gray, man. He's a good dude, and he's getting ready to have a second baby. They just announced that on IG the other day. I posted on X.
It's a good year to be Noah Gray. It's a good year to be Noah Gray.
Noah Gray's having a good year. It's a good year to be Noah Gray. But he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Love Noah Gray. What's his name? Our boy that come on the show and did some stuff with us. Wide receiver.
Garrett
Why can't I think of his name? Garrett Dieter. I'm having a rough time with names today. Garrett Dieter, though. Garrett Dieter speaks very highly of Noah Gray. Those two are big-time pickleballers, huh?
They're pickleballers. I almost said picker ballers.
Picker ballers?
Pickleballers.
You just said that, and you know what the first thing popped in my head was?
What?
American Pickers. Do you remember that show? I used to love that show, bro.
Have you ever been to the store? I went to the store in Nashville.
In Nashville. I've never been to the store. I heard the girl works there that used to be on the show. What's her name? Danielle?
Danielle,
she used to work there, right?
She loved me. She gave me a signed picture of herself.
There you go.
There. Yeah. See? She wanted to be my friend.
Show, man.
She's trying to get in on the Steve Baby action, I think. Didn't allow it.
Oh no.
Didn't allow it.
I'm surprised. That's the first.
No, but did you know the original 2 guys? Shut up. You know the original 2 guys from American Pickers? Frank died. He passed away.
Frank, the little guy?
Yeah, and then Mike and then Mike was just in like a bad car wreck. So he's been recovering from that. Yeah.
Why did I bring this up? Because now you run my evening.
Now you're depressed, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Always liked Mike.
Soak that
we shared a name.
World Series is on. What about that? Man, baseball. Here's the thing.
Baseball's like watching other football teams play.
I grew up loving baseball, and I still love baseball. But I watch the Royals play occasionally, but I don't watch And then with baseball anyway, it's kind of a joke because the Dodgers just go out and buy a team and get to the World Series every year because there's no cap. So they go out and pay Shohei Ohtani, who, by the way, I don't care if you're an old school guy or you're new school. There's never been a player like that guy in Major League Baseball. He's the greatest to ever do it. Dude, literally after 2 innings the other day, the guy had 6 strikeouts and 2 home runs. What are we talking about? But they go pay him $700 million to play for them. It's
we
crazy.
We grew up during the juiced ball era of Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and
steroid
Barry
era.
Bonds, the steroid era.
Best time of baseball ever.
I don't care. That was great. They should be pumping everybody full of steroids right now.
Yeah,
that would be the greatest
baseball
back. I've ever watched.
I want to see more Jose Cansecos. I want to see more Mark McGuire's and Sammy Sosas. I don't want to watch this.
It was brilliant. Big Frank Thomas. Dude, you name it. Everybody had a slugger, and it was fun to watch, man. And I tell you, baseball just doesn't feel fun no more. I love the Royals. I love watching Royals,
Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's a hell of a player.
He's a good player, but it feels like the no salary cap in baseball is just kind of
well, you got small market teams like the Royals, and then you got people like the Dodgers who's paying billions of dollars
that you can't compete with. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I don't really keep up with it a whole lot. It's just kind of blah. But
if I lived in KC, I would definitely.
It makes it that much sweeter, though. Like back in 2015, when the Royals won the World Series, it made it that much sweeter, though, that you're small market and you just get out there and get the job done.
Oh yeah,
But
what a team!
And I'm with you guys. I'll turn baseball on. It puts me to sleep. It's like ASMR, just like golf. Nothing puts me to sleep faster because of the way I grew up. Mike, you'll remember on Sundays, Pops would be watching PGA, so I would be on the couch just like having the best nap of my life while golf was on, because they talk quietly. They talk real quiet. You hear like the birds chirping in the background.
He's like chirp chirp. He's like, "This is Vern Lundquist. Thanks for tuning in to the Masters."
I was over there sawing logs, baby.
And Steve's saying, and I'm like, "Bro, he's trying to putt. Shut up."
It's one of the best ways to get to sleep. If you guys can't sleep, turn on some golf.
And look, golf. I love golf. Me and you play golf, but man, there's never been another golfer like Tiger. And once he got all that back injury and all that crazy stuff, golf kind of fell off.
I don't know. Scotty Scheffler's pretty wild, dude.
He's good, but he ain't no Tiger in his prime, baby.
Yeah, no, nobody is. Anyway, back to football. Back to football.
Oh, yeah.
Football's a sport that doesn't put me to sleep. Well, depends. If the Chiefs are playing, I'm good. But let's talk about this game just a little bit more. We're going to be here for a little while more tonight. So if you guys have any questions, get them in the chat. We'll talk about whatever with the game. I think that I'm pretty excited to see where the Chiefs are at, because I think this is a good game at a good time. And let me tell you why. Buffalo, they're always a challenge for the Chiefs. Buffalo's a good football team, and they also always play the Chiefs so tough, right? So it's not going to be easy. And you're going into the Lions' den there. You're going to Orchard Park. So an away game against a tough team that plays you tough every time. The Chiefs have been on an uptrend. Like, they've been getting better and better each week. So what a better way to test yourself right here mid-season than against Buffalo in their house. So I just want to see what this team actually has going, dude. Because if they go out there and put one on Buffalo in Buffalo, like, I think everyone has to just, like, everybody's antennas are going to perk up, dude. Because if that happens, people can't keep on this whole, well, the Chiefs suck this year. The Chiefs dynasty's over. Patrick Mahomes is mid. No, dude, I think you have to pay attention. There's still guys that are putting the Chiefs at like 7 and 8 on their power rankings, which is
Tom
insane.
Brady had us at 6, right?
Right. So, I mean, I think this is a week where you get a gauge of kind of where you're at with this team. And I've said this several times in the last couple of weeks, Mike, but I don't think this team is even close to their ceiling. I don't think they've even scratched it yet.
Right.
So, I mean, they can get that much better. If they can go out and beat Buffalo in their house, knowing that we still got a lot of room to grow, I'm ecstatic.
You walk into Highmark and you get that win, you're going into a bye week knowing that Andy Reid is a master of coming off the bye week. Like, he is just it. But you're going into that bye week at what, 6-3?
Right.
And I mean, come on. I think at the beginning of the season, if anybody told you you're going to bye week at 6-3 and you're going to miss Rashee Rice for every bit of that almost, except for 3 games, and Xavier Worthy was going to be gone for 3 or 4 games or however long he was, I think a lot of people take that 6-3, man.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you had to take it.
I think, well, I thought that was going to be like worst case scenario, honestly. But in hindsight, I think it was more towards the better case, because I thought, we'll lose 3. We'll lose 3. I think that's like worst case scenario. I don't think we'll lose more than that.
Do you think
But
everything
I think we
that's
could have,
happening-
honestly.
Do you think everything that's happening right now with the Chiefs is actually making this team stronger? Rasheed Rice misses 6 weeks, and you had to learn how to
Yes.
deal without Rasheed
Yes.
Rice. And it caused guys like Tyquan Thornton to step up. And then when Xavier Worthy gets injured quickly, now you had more guys having to step up. And then now you got Pacheco going out for maybe a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now somebody else gets to step up. Maybe we see Brashard Smith's emergence right now, and then he becomes a weapon.
Right on cue, baby.
It's
Chiefs
going,
Warrior.
baby.
He says, which player would you like to develop or see develop the most by the end of the season? Brashard Smith. I'll give you 2. I'll go, well, dang, I want to say 3. This is tough. Brashard Smith's my obvious one, but I also like to see Kingsley Suamataia keep getting in on that left guard because
Boy,
he's
been
getting
nasty,
better,
huh?
getting better every week. And then also Ashton Gelati. I'd like to see him be able
Yeah.
to get more out there, get more involved, and start really becoming a factor out there on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say Ashton Gelati too. And by the way, shout out Ashton Gelati.
Happy
23rd
birthday.
birthday today, baby.
Let's go.
Our boy,
Halloween
Ashton
birthday.
Gelati. Shout out Ashton. Shout out Veronica.
Yep. And
Shout
hey,
'em
while,
out down there
while
in
we're
the-
speaking
in the
about
big
Ashton
Florida.
Gelati, he has a sandwich over at Zarda, who
Yeah,
is
he does.
sponsoring tonight's live stream, as you can see right here. Get out to Zarda, get yourself a KC takeaway, the Ashton Gelati sandwich. It's freaking delicious, man. They sent us some, and me and Mike and Pops and everybody
Yes.
have one. Just chef's kiss.
Yes,
Love it.
it's amazing.
Get out there, get it. Let them know that All Chiefed Up sent you their way. I see a lot of you guys saying you've been hitting up Zarda. Make
Yeah.
sure to let them know All Chiefed Up got
Let
you
'em
over
know.
there. Let's
And
go.
boy, if you like spicy, it's got some kick to it. It really
kick
does.
to it.
Ashton loves his spice. That's what his mama told us. And boy, he did. But yes, Ashton Gelati is somebody I'd love to see develop at the end of the year too, Steve. He only had 21 snaps versus the Commanders. And again, not bad. That's 40% of the defensive snaps. The one that kind of took a back seat, and it's taken a back seat, but if you remember from camp, the draft pick was kind of Bossa. Bossa was in Spag's hip pocket. It felt like he was going to be used a lot in these weird nickel situations, these weird maybe the spy situations, because he's so fast and he can cover. But we've yet to see that. Bossa only got to play 4 snaps the other day, and then you've seen you seen our boy Noel Williams. His snaps actually went down the other day. So it's becoming a thing to where these guys are flashing in small doses, and then they're just kind of going away from them. And
right.
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess you have to trust. You got to trust, I guess, what they're seeing and what they're doing. And again, when I look at the Noel Williams snap count, Noel Williams didn't get a single snap the other night versus the Commanders.
That's ridiculous.
I thought that was look. I'm literally talking and looking at this, and I almost fell over because he's not on this list. Like, I've had to look at this 4 times to make sure.
That's
he
ridiculous.
Missed it. Noel Williams took 8 snaps.
Okay.
So basically none. Dude,
That's
I
still
was like,
wild.
there's no way he
Well,
didn't
so
take snaps.
if
bro.
you go back to before the season started, I kind of figured that Jeffrey Bossa was going to be a slow play. I said that you might see him on special teams, but probably won't get on the field a whole lot because
Right.
our linebackers are good. So, I mean,
Yes.
it makes sense. Now, next season, if they decide not to extend Drew Tranquil, then maybe we start seeing Bossa get implemented into this offense a little bit more. I think they do have to go re-sign Leo Chanel. I think you absolutely have to there. But if you have Bolton, Chanel, and then you
But
just
didn't you
bring Bossa
feel-
on in.
Didn't you feel like, though, the way they were so much not using Leo Chanel, they've started using him a lot more this year.
Leo's a monster, dude. It's
Finally.
crazy not to use him more.
But it kind of felt like they were going to kind of rotate him and Bossa a lot this year. And maybe Leo just finally said, I've had enough. I'm playing every down
Yeah.
that you'll let me.
Yeah.
And Leo's the man. You got to re-sign him back this year, I believe.
Peter, I'll take it, dude. 31-21. I'll take it. I'll take a 10-point
Well, that's a
win.
big win.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Man, so Leo, I actually think, I know it's like outside of the box, but I feel like Leo could actually help us with the pass rush if they used him. Like, just put him on the edge there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Leo could do that. And it's
they've
like,
done that a few times this year, though. I'll tell you.
they've done it a couple times last year, but they don't do it enough because
If
I think
I'm
it could
not
be very
mistaken,
effective.
If I'm not mistaken, the first snap versus the Giants, they essentially ran a 3-4, 3 down linemen with Chris Jones, Karloftis, and I want to say Charles Omenihu. And they had those three guys, and then they let Leo come down over the right tackle, and he actually stood up and he rushed the passer first play of the game.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more of that, and that was when Spags was using that split safety stuff. And I'm telling you, that kind of stuff will confuse good quarterbacks. And like if Russell Wilson can fall for that split safety stuff, I'm telling you, Russell Wilson, he might physically not be where he was when he was first in the league, but he was a damn good quarterback in his early days, and like his body's just failed him a little bit, but his mind's always been good. He's always had a good football mind. And if that could fool him like it did this late into his career, you know you're going to trip Josh Allen up a few times, because Josh Allen is a gunslinger anyways. He arm punts every fourth throw.
Yeah.
So look, to me, to beat Buffalo, you need to stop James Cook, which, by the way, we've not let a 100-yard rusher. We've not allowed that so far this year. So we're going to center on stopping the run. That's Spags' number one thing. It's stop the run first, and that's their motto, and I think they'll continue to do it. And Big Mike Pennel helps. But you've got to stop the moon balls by Josh Allen, because remember, he threw a few of those last year, and what happened? They actually made some crazy catches out there on the boundaries.
Doesn't always happen. Look at Terry McLaurin's catches. Like everybody we play just pulls some crazy stuff out of their ass. But I just think that the Chiefs can score on this defense, dude. I really do. Like, I know we already said you have to get Kareem Hunt rolling, establish that run game. We preach this every game, and it's no different. But, like, I feel like this team, like you said, last year we went with a healthy dose of Xavier Worthy because Buffalo had trouble with the speed. So I think we just beat them with speed, too. If you notice, they didn't do it as much last week against Washington. But if you go back 2 weeks ago against the Raiders were playing a lot of man coverage. They were getting these guys stacked up over there, dude. They were stacking up three receivers, doing it like a stack release type thing where everybody splits out.
Yeah.
And they were having so much trouble. And I feel like that's the same kind of stuff you could do to Buffalo. Like if they're trying to play you man and you pull some stuff like that with the speed that we have on the football field, it's insane, guys. I mean, it's crazy to think that we've got three guys that are sub 4.3 40s. Like there is so much speed to use. I think you just kill them with it. Absolutely. And plus, if you notice, the Chiefs have kind of been a second half team.
Right.
And I think that's a part of it. Because when you have a lot of speed on the football field, defenses can kind of keep up with you for so long. But eventually, it's going to be hard to maintain. And I think that's why you keep seeing the Chiefs. Not only have they had really good in-game adjustments, but they also have so much speed that I think by the second half, their defenses get a little gassed. Yeah. And it makes it difficult. And then we start getting some guys open.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let Josh Allen get out of the pocket either. We know he's going to do that. But yes, to put a little bit more on what you were saying, the Chiefs did utilize that a lot. Last week, I didn't see it versus the Commanders a lot.
No.
But they did do another wrinkle where they were putting Rashee Rice in the backfield a lot. Like you seen him take some snaps in the Wildcat. He was moving. They were putting Pacheco out on the edge, just taking him completely out of the backfield. But yeah, a lot in the Raiders game, they were lining up 2x2 sets with like a couple wide receivers.
Yep.
And then Mahomes was putting somebody in motion because you're checking to see if it's man-to-man, whatever, man-to-man zone. And they were lining up in a trips formation. So they were going 3-1. And you were seeing a lot of trips. And outside of that trips, you were seeing an in route, you were seeing a corner route, and you were seeing somebody just go deep. And they were just eating that up levels. And then Kelsey was coming right in underneath it and just burning it up. So if the more trips they can run from one side of the field, I think that will confuse Buffalo as well. Buffalo does not have good corners in the first place. So the more trips they can get on one side of the field, and in your base 11 personnel too, I think you want to keep more linebackers on the field as well here. I think you can take advantage of these linebackers in the pass game.
Yeah. Now they are getting a corner back this week. Max Harrison is actually going to get to play.
But I'm not too worried about a rookie playing his
I'm
first
not either.
action
Exactly.
of the year.
That's what I'm saying. That can almost be an advantage Chiefs. Because now I will say this, Buffalo struggles with speed, but Max Harrison's a 4T guy too. We watched him play at UK. He can fly.
He can
fast.
play.
So
he plays just like Drew Phillips.
Yeah.
That come out a few years ago.
But at the same time, like you said, rookie first game in here, I think we can take advantage of that. I really do.
Yeah.
So
Brian asked who's reffing. It's
Carl Cheffers. Which is going to make this tough.
But look, I'm not too worried about Carl Cheffers. If I'm not mistaken,
now listen though, with Cheffers, it's just like any other referee. You can't let the game be close if it shouldn't be.
Right.
So first of all, don't turn the ball over. Secondly, if you can put your foot on the gas and get up by 2 or 3 scores, you have to do it. You have to take those opportunities. Don't let them hang around. Don't let them hang close, because if they can, Jeffers will bite you in the fourth quarter. He'll do it. We've seen him do it for years. So, I mean, you just can't allow that to happen.
Jeffers called our first game of the year in Brazil.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
But, I mean, it wasn't that crazy. The penalties was 10 for 71, 6 to 49. So it wasn't that big of a deal, and we should have won that game. I don't think the officials caused us from winning that game. We wasn't containing.
Nope. But Jeffers is not going to help you. Okay.
Right, but we didn't contain nobody there at the end of the game. Kelsey drops the touchdown, or he just don't run the right route, whatever it was that game. But yeah, and then, the last time he did it was in December of last year. He called the Texans game, and that was the one that everybody cried about and said, the Chiefs. Actually, that might have been the one where we beat them pretty good. It wasn't the playoff game, was it?
Yeah.
The playoff games where they cried about the late hit on Mahomes, where they hit him in the head, which was an actual freaking headshot.
The first down, that wasn't a first down. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, look, this is going to be the third time he's called in 2. Last year, we only had him 1 game. That's wild. But this year, we're going to have him 2 by week 9.
What's really wild is we didn't have him last year, and we were 15-2.
No, we did. We had him 1 versus
was it
the
a
Texans.
Loss?
No, it was the Texans game.
That would have been crazy, dude. That would have been crazy. About Time says he needs a hat like the one you're wearing, Mike. Mike bought me one. Big brother showed up, got me one, and I left it at work. I got to pick it up tomorrow.
Look, I'm trying to get a sponsorship by these guys here. It's I forget their names actually because they didn't pay me enough to say it on TV. Yeah. And anyways, if they hook up, I'll remember their name, and I'll try to get you guys a nice little discount, maybe 10-15% off using our code. So I'm trying to get that going.
My discount was pretty good.
Steve, you got a free discount, but I ain't getting you nothing for Christmas now.
Okay, whatever.
No, I'm joking.
You bought me dinner last night too. Big brother's taking care of little brother lately.
This week.
Let's go.
Hey, Mike taking care of the family. I'm like the Godfather out here.
Yep. I'm gonna borrow some money from you for rent here in a little bit too. Hey, Peter Ortiz. Peter Ortiz says odds on KC will take the division. So I think this is a fun question. I think if you set aside the fact that they're back a game right now, I would almost say 80% to 100%. They've literally won the last 10, so it's kind of hard to think that they won't do it.
Yeah.
Now, if you look that they dropped the game to the Chargers, and then the Broncos are actually a game ahead in the division, I think it's more of a challenge than it has been. But I just think it makes all the games very important, especially the division games.
Right. So let's look at the Broncos' schedule remaining here, and let's see what they have.
Get that Halloween background, baby.
What is the Broncos right now? What are they? Are they 6 and
2? I don't know. Is that right? 5-2, maybe 5 and.
I don't know what they are. Okay. Anyways,
what week is it?
Yeah, what week is this again? Okay, so look, they beat the Titans. They lost to the Colts. That's 1 down. They lost to the Chargers. So they've won every other game. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2.
Well, I think it's safe to say the Raiders aren't a part of this conversation.
Right, the Raiders are not. So we're going to look at the Broncos and the Chargers. The Broncos are 6 and 2 right now. They're playing the Texans at. I'm pretty sure that's at the Texans, right? Like the team on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way that works on ESPN? Yes. I'm not for sure.
I'm pretty sure.
So anyways, either way, the Texans could get a win here. I'm not going to write them completely off, but I still think the Broncos are favored in that one.
Their defense has been decent.
Yeah, their defense is not bad. So if they don't allow, say,
also you have to remember, how long is that from now? Is that this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pat Surtain II is out. They were thinking that he might be out 4 to 6 weeks, but they opted not to put him on the IR. So I'm thinking,
which means in 3 weeks he'll be back versus the Chiefs.
Yeah,
4
exactly.
weeks.
That's why they didn't put him on IR.
Exactly,
I almost
100%.
bet you because they're going to try to get him back.
Let's go ahead and say the Broncos drop this week. Let's say they go 6 and 3. They're going to beat the Raiders at 7 and 3. They're going to lose to us. That's 7 and 4. They're going to beat the Commanders. That's 8 and 4. They're going to beat the Broncos again. That's 9 and 4. I'm going to say the Packers beat them 9 and 5. The Jaguars could beat them. So let's just say they do 9 and 6, 9 and 7. And then they're either going to be 9 and 8 or 10 and 7. So I mean, I don't think the Broncos have such an easy schedule on the way out, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I heard somebody say they did, and now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's that easy of a schedule. I don't think. Look, they got to play the Chiefs 2 more times. The Texans are formidable because they have a good defense. The Commanders aren't even that bad if you was to get Jaden Daniels back that late in the season. The Jaguars have been winning. The Packers are not bad. And then they finish off with Chiefs Chargers. So, I mean, okay. So let's move over to the Chargers. Let's see what they're doing right now. The Chargers have the Titans. They're going to get a win this week. The Steelers. That's two guys at the top of their divisions here. I think they beat the Steelers. They should beat the Steelers. But they play the Jags. They'll get a win versus the Raiders. The Eagles should handle them. The Chiefs are going to beat them. The Cowboys could beat them. The Texans got a good defense, and then they play the Broncos. So, look, honestly, Steve, I think I give the Chiefs right now, look at that Halloween background. I think I give the Chiefs right now like a good, 60% chance we're going to pull the division out?
I was going to go 60 to 70, somewhere in that range, yeah.
I would say every bit of that.
Absolutely.
Peter, I'm glad you asked to do that because I haven't really took a look at those divisions, but I don't mind the way those are shaping up for those two teams.
Yep. What's up, Chris Wright? I see you, man. How you doing? Then we got Zach. He says Broncos are tough, but the Chiefs are growing and adapting, evolving, just getting better and better on all phases in ways that other teams can't because they aren't the Chiefs. That's exactly right. That's the way I see it. Like, obviously, Denver has room to grow. The Chargers are probably the Chargers. The Chargers normally top out about week 4, right? So I kind of feel like it's the same old with them. But the Broncos, they could grow, right? Because their defense is tough. Now their offense isn't that great. They're pretty young, and they're kind of it's a ragtag group of guys, in my opinion. Like you got Bo Nix, they drafted R.J. Harvey, they got J.K. Dobbins running the football, and then their receivers are kind of odd. You got Cortland Sutton, of course, but then they went and drafted Pat Bryant.
Yeah.
Now Evan Ingram was a nice little wrinkle to their offense. I thought that was a good signing by them. A fast tight end that could catch the football. So they're not bad, but
didn't they bring in somebody really random the other day, the Broncos?
Oh, did
Hold
they?
up. It was somebody just like a sucky person that hasn't played in a while. I mean, they don't suck. Oh, it was Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, another tight end? Is he like 74?
Wait, no, that's not it. They brought him in before the season. These guys brought in somebody the other day. It may have been, maybe it was the Chargers, but somebody brought in like another old geezer. Just straight geezer. Oh,
Mercedes Lewis is not
October
playing
29th. Veteran Mercedes Lewis is signing with the Broncos practice squad. So
dude, he's got to be my age.
He's 41.
That's insane. So he's older than me.
He's older than you, bro.
What are they doing?
They signed him to the practice squad.
Maybe I should try to get on the Broncos practice
He was
squad.
drafted in 2006.
And then I'll leak all of the
When did you
playbook.
graduate?
03.
So that makes sense because he went to college for 3 years and got drafted.
Yeah.
Where'd Mercedes Lewis go to college? Let's see if we can figure this out. Somebody will tell us in the chat.
There ain't no way.
Was it
If they don't Google
UCLA?
it.
If my knowledge was right, it was UCLA.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Man.
I do so much draft stuff. It just sticks.
I think that he'll end up playing against the Chiefs. I think they intentionally did not put Surtain on the IR so they can get him back for the Chiefs matchup.
I bet you they did that too.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get him back in 3. It says out 3 weeks, but like it said, from what I was reading, it said he should have been out 4 to 6.
You're saying out 3 weeks, but you got to remember there's a bye week in there with us, so that's 3 weeks. That's 4 weeks from now.
Exactly. That's what they're
he's
doing.
He's gonna be back
Because if they put him on IR, we wouldn't have had to play him.
Yeah, they're gonna leave the door open.
They're gonna try.
They're gonna leave the door cracked. What's hurt? What's it hurt? His knee, his shoulder, his foot,
his titty.
His titty.
Yeah, he hurt his titty.
Should I go to Denver and give him a titty twister and put him out the week before the game?
Yes.
ACU on record going out there to titty twister him.
Dude, Pat Surtain, you better watch them nips, buddy, because we're gonna give you a hell of a twister.
You remember that guy? Twist his the old wiener twist in the UFC fight. That's me.
Crazy.
I'm gonna give him the old titty twist.
Mike Peters says he thinks the Ponies are the biggest threat in the division. I think you're right, dude. I think the Chargers. I never can buy into the Chargers because it's the Chargers hype every offseason. They always start the season out strong and then they always disappear. and then they might get a wild card and get blown out in the first week of the playoffs. Like, that's just what they do. I feel like that's who they are.
Yeah, but I mean, really, have the Broncos done anything? I mean, the Broncos are solid, but let's look. They should have almost lost every game this year. They've had monumental meltdowns from every team they've played.
Right.
Their offense has been trash. Bo Nix has been one of the worst quarterbacks in football this entire season. He was literally ranking below backups the first 3 or 4 weeks of the year.
Right.
They didn't really beat nobody last year. They hobbled into the playoffs and got beat because we didn't play our starters in week 17. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then they get beat. So I just can't buy the whole Denver Bronco thing until I see them actually like perform. Like I get that
I don't think their offense is good
but
enough.
they're not great.
I don't think their offense is good enough because if you look outside of like the fourth quarter against the Giants, they haven't really put up a whole lot of points.
That's my point. Yeah. And if the Giants didn't decide to go sit down on the bench and buy a ticket in the fourth quarter, what did they possibly do? There is no way I would have not fired the defensive coordinator on the field if he would have let them score 33 unanswered. You're out of your mind.
That is a joke.
Brian Daboll has no marbles. He has no marbles.
He has no marbles.
You're supposed to fire him.
Before we
get
get
Giants coordinator?
It doesn't matter. He don't need a job. But you don't have to worry about it.
You're right. He really don't.
He might need a job,
Shane Bowen. Freaking Shane Bowen. The worst defensive coordinator in football.
Yeah, it's bad.
What an ass.
Richie said they shit the bed. They did. They shat the bed hard.
Why did they even hire him? He was with the Tennessee Titans for 3 years. They suck too.
So anyway, when you get off of your rant about the Giants defensive coordinator.
Well, look, if the Giants would have held up and not give up 33 points, we're winning the division right now.
Yeah, I know, dude. What a joke. I think
Ridiculous.
they threw the game. They threw the game.
They did.
They might be in on that betting ring with Terry Rozier. You think?
Man, that could be a thing. Maybe Jackson Dart had to pay off that college education down there.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to bring up one other thing before we get going tonight. But before I get into that, appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. It'd help us out. Also, you can become a member, join.allchiefedup.com. You can buy some merchandise, merch.allchiefedup.com. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, why the hell haven't you done that yet? You want to follow the Best Chiefs channel on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button. But Mike, so you brought this up a couple weeks ago, and I kind of shunned your idea because I don't really care for it.
You did shun my idea.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I know you shunned it.
I'll give you $5 if you can tell me what I'm getting ready to say.
My idea?
Mm-hmm.
My shunning of my idea? What's it revolve around? Give me a hint.
Defensive line.
Yeah, you did. You shunned my idea here. And my idea was to put Ashton Gelati. No, wait. That was a different idea. That was with Lance. I wanted to trade for a defensive lineman, and I wanted to go get Jalen Phillips, and you shunned it.
No. You said Arden Key.
Dang it. That was the other guy I was going with.
You said Arden Key,
exactly,
and I said, nay, that's crazy. Well, guess what? They came out today and said they are dealing Arden Key.
Yeah, they are.
That he is on the trade block. And here we are with only $1 million in cap.
Yeah. Arden Key had come in to the Chiefs when he was a free agent a couple years ago. He had come in for a meeting, and we also knew him a little bit from the draft process, and it's Mike Borgonzi. It makes sense.
It might make a whole lot more sense if they sign him this week or trade for him or whatever.
You shot that down, but I was
But do you really think it moves the needle much? Do you think it moves the horn meter much at all to get Arden Key?
No, I think he is a worse he's a lower grade Charles Omenihu, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's why I said no when you brought it up. Just wasn't a huge fan. We got our girl Brenda in here with the 5 gifted. Let's freaking go, Brenda. Let's go. To get one of those memberships, make sure to thank her in the chat. Put some legendaries in the chat for Brenda. And while you're at it, baby, go ahead and put some legendaries in the chat for Mr. Peter Ortiz with 5 more gifted.
We got a train rolling.
Woo-hoo.
How long is the train going to last, ladies and gents?
Hell yeah, baby. Hey.
How long is the train going to last?
Mike.
It stopped.
It's the finale here, baby. Everybody's going nuts. You guys put some legendaries in the chat for Peter and Brenda. We appreciate you guys.
Steve, can you tell everybody who got the members? Do you get to see them?
You want me to go look? Let me go look real quick.
Pops give away 5 earlier, so that's 15 tonight.
Let's go, baby.
Let's hit 25 gifted
Grow
members
that crew.
tonight.
Let's
That
grow
would
that
be
crew.
insane if we was to get 25 in a single night.
Mansa, Lisa Rogers, Jake Richardson, Timothy Hutchins, and Justin Mateo. And then we got Nathan Graham, Sooners for Life, Phil, Matthew, and Jay-Z the White. Let's freaking go. Welcome to the crew.
Welcome to the crew. Appreciate you guys. Look, you're going to have fun here. This is a good, educated group.
Yeah.
Not these
Great
two
chat,
idiots
by the
talking.
way. The chat.
The people in the chat. That's what it's worth it.
Had to correct you there, buddy. Chris Wright, been a member for 27 months. See, Chris knows what's up. He's a smart guy. He's been a member for 27 months.
Yeah.
Let's go. So just join, sub, and like. Do bros bring the heat. That's right, we do. I need a Mountain Dew right now.
Yeah, for sure. We just give away Charles O'Menahue a signed jersey. But this next month's members is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Should I tell them what it is today?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it.
Let me grab it. I can't reach it. It's too
Who
far
signed
away.
something for us this time? I bet it's our good old buddy that we were just talking about a little while ago, wasn't it?
Give me a second.
All right. Ooh, Mike just left. Why am I so little? Mike made me little and just left completely. Like, it must be majorly important, a top secret. I mean, this is wild. But whatever. I'm back. I'm bigger. Let's go. Is it with Pacheco, Nikki? Nikki, you horn dog. You. It might be. Let's get him back in here. I can
Did you hear
now.
me?
I gotta
I
get you
don't
on the
know
right
what
side.
in the
there.
heck happened, man. No idea what happened there where you just disappeared. We all disappeared like Halloween took over.
You did that. You made me
Maybe
tiny.
I did.
You made me a little tiny guy.
I made you a little tiny man. Okay, here we go. I got it. We got none other than our boy, Noah Gray.
Let's go.
Let's go. Look
I
at
had a
this.
feeling it was going to be Noah. That's
Noah
a nice
Gray.
one. I like the white
Let's
jerseys.
go. I love the white Noah Gray jersey. Shout out Noah for signing and donating to the kingdom, to the ACU crew. Steve, Noah Gray again, baby. Like, congrats on his big announcement today.
Yeah. Noah Gray always comes in clutch for ACU, by the way.
That's huge. Salute to Service Award. Look, no greater month to honor Noah Gray.
Peter says, it will be mine.
Dude, if you're also a Duke fan, I mean, I don't know how many slapnuts out there like Duke, but if there
aren't
is
any of
one,
those.
dude, there's a
Matt
big
Derrick
time-
said he's a Duke fan the other day.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I could have fell over. I'm like, what, bro? No.
No.
What are you thinking?
Look, at
Even if
least-
you are, you don't admit that in public.
look,
That's crazy.
We're from Kentucky. We like the Cats, baby. Kentucky Wildcats. You guys are right there with like Missouri, but Kansas. I mean, come on, Kansas is a blue blood.
Yeah.
What the hell's Matt Derrick doing liking Duke?
That's crazy, brother. I
Did you
wouldn't tell
go
a
to Duke?
single
Did he go
soul.
to Duke?
I wouldn't tell a single soul.
No, we got to give him hell over that.
Yeah, Noah is clutch for the Chiefs too, Nikki.
Love
You don't
Noah.
get a date with Noah Gray. I don't know. He might take you out for some pickleball, Nikki. I don't know.
He might. He's married.
You never know. Mike, you were talking about home wreckers earlier.
Yeah, I don't think Noah Gray's a home wrecker.
Yeah, no.
Noah
Yeah,
Gray's
that'd
a
be
good
cool.
guy.
So we'll be giving that away. If you want to get it on that, join.allchiefedup.com. That way you can be at the members only live stream next month and win that Noah Gray signed jersey, baby. Let's go.
Win
How about
that
it, y'all?
jersey. Win that big jersey.
Let's go. Matt Derrick went to Mizzou and he's a Duke fan.
Look,
the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Unacceptable.
That's wild.
I think I'm gonna look. I'm blocking him.
Yeah, you're not my friend no more.
He's not even my
Unfollow.
friend anymore. Look, we can disagree on anything. You want to disagree about who you voted for in the year
gone.
2008? Okay, we'll disagree. You want to disagree over what food's the best? Whatever. But you can't like Duke. And you graduated from where?
Mizzou.
Mizzou?
Wow.
I mean, to be honest, Mizzou's had a really shit basketball team for the last, but they've been decent lately.
Yeah.
Sorry if you guys are Mizzou fans, but
Richie says he hit his head. It's okay.
are there more? Hey, put it in the chat. College basketball fans, are you guys? Because I know the majority of you guys are from KC area. Do we have more Kansas basketball fans or more Missouri basketball fans? I'm curious because I feel like Missouri owns the football. But are we going to be like bandwagon switchers?
Been doing its thing.
Yeah, but that's recently. But are we going to be one of those people that love Missouri football and Kansas basketball? We got one of those going.
Devin, D lineman all day, every day. I don't think there's any way they can sign Brees Hall. Only $1.8 million in cap space, so they'd have to pull a magic trick and a half. Let's see. Nuno Stradamus says he's a fan of Daisy Dukes, if that counts.
Sure.
Everybody's horned up tonight. What are y'all
Jessica
doing?
Simpson.
Nathan Graham said,
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. Nathan Graham said, crazy, never heard my name called out. Funny times. Nathan Graham. Let's go.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you never heard my name called out? What's that mean?
He won a membership.
Oh,
he was
Nathan
gifted
Graham,
one.
baby. Let's go.
He's part of the crew now. He should have a cool little emblem by his name, does he? Where's he at? Yeah, see?
He does.
Look at it.
We can't even see it. On our end, it just shows what does it show? It just shows a circle and 2 lines through it.
Yeah, like a slash. Like a no.
That's weird.
Like you're censored, you know?
Yeah. So I just always assumed those were the people who got blocked.
Peter, we're praying for you, buddy. We're praying that you get a date with a cheerleader, too.
Which cheerleaders?
Let's go.
I've heard the Vikings got a couple.
No. Don't do that to Peter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Come on now.
Hey,
That's
look, why do
ridiculous.
people throw a fit over that, though? Because, look, here's where I'm at.
Come on, man.
Here's where I'm at.
Come on.
Listen, there's always been male cheerleaders, though. They throw people up in the air a lot. Like the UK's got some of the best male cheerleaders on the planet. So why is it a thing?
You damn well know the difference.
I don't.
Okay.
Just
okay. All right.
I mean, there's been male cheerleaders before. That's all I'm trying to say.
Peter said, nope.
Come on, Pete.
He noped the hell out of that one.
I'll find you some good pictures of them. We'll bring them up. Hit the gong.
Let's go. Guys, we appreciate you being with us tonight. We're going to get off here. We got some stuff to do. We're going to make a video for you tomorrow. It'll probably be out Saturday morning, so go catch that. We'll have our score predictions and all that fun stuff on there. And then obviously Sunday, the game's a 3:25 game, so we'll try to do a pregame and a postgame, so be on the lookout for that. Mike, stop, Grayskull says. You got to stop that crap.
What?
Yeah, but do us a favor. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Stick around with ACU. Let's have some fun this season. The Chiefs are looking good. A good test coming up on Sunday, man. So catch that video on Saturday. And if you haven't watched the video from yesterday, we dropped a pod yesterday. It was a good one. Go check that out as well. And we'll see you next time, guys. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Wow.